What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. Tonight, I want to do a little sharing with you guys, and I know this opens me up to get made fun of and stuff. I just don't really care because it's one of those things where when you really reflect, self-reflect, sometimes if you take the time to really do that, you can't really make heads or tails of things, right? So there are other times where you're not really thinking about things. You're just kind of letting your mind wander, and all of a sudden these little things start to fit and piece together, and you're like, oh, that's why this was like this. Like sometimes when you just let go of something, or you're just not trying too hard, it just comes to you and it works, right? So yesterday I was driving home from the gym training my clients in Maryland, and I was talking to my wife, Erin, on the phone like I always do every time I leave the gym. And I was telling her that I've had these weeks now, like strings of amazing fucking awesome days just strung together, right? And I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like I'm having one good day and one great day after another, which rarely happens in most people's lives, right? And definitely just doesn't happen in mine. I have good days, bad days, whatever, but I've been having great days lately. So as I'm driving home, I'm explaining this to her, and I'm just like, it's a happy time, like maybe it's just a high, maybe there's a low coming. Who knows how it works, right? But regardless, it's just a great time right now for me. So literally what time is it? It's 12:05 Saturday. So it's like 5 past midnight on Saturday morning. And I'm downstairs packing boxes just now. And as I'm packing the boxes, I'm holding the supplements that I created, right? I came up with formulas, I came up with the name, I came up with the packaging, I came up with the labels. It's all me, right? And I'm looking at them like, this is really cool. And I always feel fulfilled at the end of the day when I've packed X amount of boxes, whatever the orders were that day. I always feel fulfilled. I'm putting the labels on them, I'm packing them. I feel like I'm doing a good day's work. Even though I've already worked at my, technically, I don't want to call it my job, but my career, which is an in-person personal trainer, online personal trainer. Then we have the supplement company on top of it. And I had this flashback. And I remember, what caused the flashback was I turned around on the way out the door. I was closing everything up. I was done for the night. I looked at the rack with all the supplements on it because, we have racks that have the stuff for packing and stuff in it. And I smiled and I said, I'm really proud. Like, I'm proud of that. I'm looking at it. I'm like, no, it's not a big operation. It's not a multi-million-dollar company, but I'm proud to see that rack with all those supplements on it, packing the boxes. People are ordering them. People believe in the supplements. They believe in me. Like, I'm very proud of that. Why am I proud? Like, I'm not a very proud guy at all, to be honest with you. There's so many things I've done in my life, I don't give a fuck. Like, I was in the cover of Muscle Sport magazine, which was, like, pretty much all I ever wanted growing up, right? And I was like, I don't feel proud. Well, why don't you feel proud? Because my dad wasn't here to see it. Not that it's not awesome to be on a magazine cover, but I wasn't proud because my dad, I would be proud to show my dad. I'm just not a proud guy. Why am I proud now? So I'm sitting there and this pride comes over me. I feel like happy and I got a smile on my face. And I said, I'm proud because I didn't know how to do any of this. I didn't know how to be a trainer, how to run a business. I didn't know how to build a business. Like, I built this from scratch out of my garage. I didn't know how to do that. I never did it before. There's no blueprint. I didn't have anybody helping me with it. How the fuck did I do that? Like, what like, I know anybody can do it. Then why doesn't everybody do it? Because it's not that easy. It's hard. So I thought back. I was like, and instantly the question I posed to myself was, well, if you weren't doing this, what were you going to do? Work at a gas station the rest of your life? Which there's nothing wrong with working at a gas station. But that's where one of my first jobs that I had out of high school was working at a gas station. And I remember thinking, like, I didn't have a plan. I wanted to be a bodybuilder, pro bodybuilder. That was my plan. I didn't have a plan for career, right? And I was just like, okay, well, but a gas station job, it doesn't pay well. It was the overnight shift. It was at a Shell station. Like, but I'll eventually do something else. Like, that's what I had in my head. I didn't know what it was, right? So fast forward a little bit of time. I'm beyond doing bouncing in bars. I'm through that and stuff already. Bouncing in clubs, all this stuff. And I wind up doing private security. Now, private security for me was a big step up from where I came from, right? That was something like, I was like, wow, this is really cool. This is like a real career, and like, this is exciting. And, and there were people that were working there that were in their 50s, 40s. Like, this is something that you do a career out of, right? You don't just do this for a little bit of time until something else comes along. And something that really hit home was A couple of the individuals there were going in the military. A couple were actually going to the Providence Police Force. And I remember one of them saying, well, this is not my career. You know, this is just like a stepping stone to my career to being a Providence police officer. And it hit me because I was in the locker room changing. I was like, fuck. I said, this is my plan. Like, I don't have a plan after this. This is it. This is where it ends. Maybe this is not the best plan because these people are using it as a stepping stone. What the fuck am I going to do? Like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, this is it. What if this is the best that I can be, the best that I can do in life? What if this is it? Now, granted, there's nothing wrong with that, but what if I could have done and been more? What if I realized that later on when I'm like on my deathbed, like, fuck, I don't, it was fucking with my head. I was about 26, 27, maybe 27, 28, somewhere around there. I was through the addiction with the heroin and stuff, and I was like, fuck, I don't even know what I'm going to do. And I really I was in a tough spot. I didn't know. And my girlfriend at the time, Angelica, had gotten a job down in Maryland, and she was like, well, I'm going to move to Maryland because the opportunity down there is a good one, and I didn't really have opportunities up here to grow, or up there to grow. So I moved with her. But I was like, I'm not going to do private security down there. So what am I going to do? I was like, I'm going to go with my passion. Back in the gym. I'm going back to personal training. And I did. I went back to personal training at Gold's Gym, Midtown, DC. It's closed now, but it was the Midtown Club. And that reignited a whole spark in me to try to be better. Like, I was no longer complacent doing the security job. I wanted to be better. Like, I wanted to improve myself. I wanted to see how far I could get as a trainer. While diving headfirst into that, I actually put my all into it. Next thing you know, 3 months later, I have the district manager telling me that he wants to put me in charge of one of the gyms. And I'm like, I said, I can't do that. He said, why not? I said, he goes, you're a natural born leader. This is what you do. You'll be fine. I was like, what? He's like, blowing smoke up my ass. I'm like, He's like, don't worry, you'll be fine. So just kind of like trial by fire, just threw me in the fire, gave me a couple instructions, go. Next thing you know, I'm running the largest Gold's Gym on the East Coast. I was literally stuck doing private security, not knowing what the fuck was going to happen to me. Made a career change, gave it my all, and all of a sudden now I'm running one of the biggest brands. Gold's Gym is one of the biggest brands, probably the biggest gym brand ever, but one of the biggest brandings in the entire world. And I'm running their biggest club on the East Coast. How the fuck did that happen? You know what I mean? I'm like, holy shit. Like, that opportunity led to the point where I got to run the whole gym, not just as a fitness manager. I started running the whole gym, doing sales. I was getting all these skills that I was absorbing that I didn't know at the time. And when the time came, I said, I'm going to go out on my own. This was 2007. I left Gold's Gym and started BioS3 Training. And I wasn't coined BioS3 Training until 2010, 3 years later, however. Started BioS3 Training. It was like Jerry's Fitness is pretty much what I used to call it. And that sounds so stupid, I think about it, but and I started there, but I didn't know how to create a business. I knew how systems, I knew how to run a business, but I didn't know how to create one. But I didn't care. I was like, I don't care, I'm gonna do this. And I left Gold's Gym, which was a nice, comfortable place to be, getting a nice paycheck, and dove right into my own thing, which was extremely hard, and I starved for years doing that. But here we're at 2019, we're like 12 years fucking later, right? And that personal training business that I had allowed me to be my own boss, to start doing YouTube, social media, still compete, do all the things I need to do. It was all wrapped, like, revolved around that one thing. Like, that's what allowed me to do it. And then the social media thing, none of us really knew how to do that when it started. So it's like, I can't say, oh, I didn't know. No, none of us knew, right? But I started doing the YouTube thing, finding my way there. And then eventually it led to these opportunities with other companies, popping up left and right for these different supplement companies, clothing companies. And I didn't know how to do that either. I'm like, how the fuck do I work with one of these companies? Like, when they sent me my first contract, I was like, how do I fucking fill this out? That's what I said. I said, I'm sorry, man, I've never done this. How do I fill this out? And they said, you can print it out, sign it, mail it to us, or you can take a picture of it, or you can scan it. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I'll just fucking print it out and mail it to you. Like, I don't know what scanning is. Honestly. So I look back and I just go, yeah, I'm 43 and I should have my shit together by now. If you're not 43 and you're not having shit together now, you're fucking suck. Like, you failed at life. But you can still turn around because you're not dead yet. But to look back and, like, for 1 second, like, I never really look back and I never pat myself on the back. And I'm not going to do it now because I just don't feel like there's any need to pat yourself on the back. When you do something good, people tell you to do good. When you do something great, they tell you you're great. If you're not, you telling yourself and patting yourself on the back is just fucking bullshit. So I just don't believe in that. So all in all, I look back tonight and I pieced everything together and went, like, it was kind of flashbacks, like boom, but boom, but boom. And I'm thinking, and I'm just like smiling because none of this shit makes sense back in the day, but you could see me starting from scratch as an individual and then slowly gaining these skills and learning my way and creating my own systems and my own ways until boom. I'm still going over here. 2019, JFD Labs, Biosphere Training, the Ninth Life clothing line, the JFD Worldwide clothing line. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, you know, I'm the guy that failed woodshop 4 years in a row. The guy that failed pretty much every class except gym class and was voted most likely not to succeed. That was my yearbook fucking thing. I was most changed because I went from being a metalhead to a very preppy dude, an athlete again, and most likely not to succeed. That was, you know, the joke vote. It was actually in the yearbook. That was the joke going around my class. So. And here I am, you know, 20 something years later, and I'm just like shaking my head going like, I had no idea. If you go back and tell my old self, my young self right now, 15 years old, like, this is what you're gonna be doing later on. Like, fuck, you're out of your fucking mind. There's no way. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, but I'm not gonna be doing that. Like, I didn't know. I had no idea. But I'm glad that I followed my heart. I'm glad I followed my instincts. I'm glad that I did my thing rather than doing what other people would want me to do, which is just try to get as good a job as you can get, make as much money as you can, get good insurance, and then fucking die. Raise a family and die. You know, like, that was the whole thing. You're going to struggle because that's what it is. But, you know, I just thought there was more to life than that. And I remember telling my mom at a very young age, like when I was like fucking 10, I was like, I want to be big, Mom. And like, not big physically, like big. I want to be like a superstar and stuff. And she was like, what? She's like, what are you talking about? It's like, I don't want to stay in Warren, Mom. Like, I don't want to live here the rest of my life. Like, I'm meant for more. The exact words out of my mouth were, I'm meant for more. And my mom said, well, whatever you want to do, you can do. My mom was always, like, and dad were always supportive. Like, they were, you know, they say the things that parents are supposed to say. But the parents also know the shit that comes with trying to accomplish those goals. So they also know that you're a kid and you're going to learn those things as you start going through these things to your goal, that you're going to come up against all these obstacles. So they're like, well, you know, he wants to do that, and maybe he will, but most likely he won't, because there's a lot of shit that comes with it, and, you know, maybe your parents have failed at stuff before. And here I was, yeah, I failed at stuff. I'd get back up. I'd take 2 more steps forward. I'd fall, and I'd get back up. I'd take 2 more steps forward, and now I basically walked across the entire fucking world by falling down, getting up, falling down, getting up, and all those obstacles that my parents were worried about and people think that are going to stop you, those are fucking, a lot of those in the past. I got some in the future that are coming up, no doubt. But those motherfuckers in the past, I didn't knock them out. There was a fucking 12-round fucking decision at the end of some of that shit, let me tell you. But the bottom line is, you learn by doing. So now that you've overcome these things, you know when something comes up, you're like, look, I overcome fucking 25 years of this shit, including heroin addiction. What's this up here? Fucking bring it. And you literally are ready for it to take it on. And you get so used to taking on one thing after another that you don't even pay attention to what's going on, how far you've come. And tonight was the realization that, holy fuck, have I gone a long fucking way. And I never really stopped and turned around and looked to see where I came from back there. And I was like, holy fuck. It gave me a little bit of fucking anxiety. Like, I have a little fucking mini heart attack over here because I'm like, you know, you're like, how did I do this? I don't know if I can keep this up. Like, how do I move forward? And you're just like, you know, you have that one side of you and the other side, shut the fuck up, dude. What are you talking about? Do the same shit you always did. Don't fucking worry. Don't stress out. Follow your instincts, follow your heart, and just figure that shit out as you go. Nobody has a fucking plan. Well, they all have a plan until they're punched in the fucking face by some shit that fucking they didn't see coming. Then their plan goes out the fucking window. You never had a plan to begin with. So right from the jump, you're fucking changing and dodging and moving where they would just be standing still waiting to get hit in the fucking face. So you're fine. You're ahead of the curve all the time because you don't make those plans. You got an idea, but not a plan. These are the conversations that go on in my head, right? And I'm sharing them with you because I think there's a lot of people that have been where I was and want to be where I'm at now. And this might be your only goal, is to be here. I don't even know what my future goals are. It's just to get up tomorrow morning and do better than I did today. I don't have a 20-year goal, a 10-year goal, a 5-year goal. I have tomorrow I'm going to fucking crush this, and I'm going to see where that fucking takes me after that. But, you know, it's fulfilling even when you get knocked down if you're following your heart. You know, there's a sense of pride when you get knocked down, even if you're, you know, just fucking leveled. Somebody come out and fucking dropped your ass in the middle of the fucking road with a baseball bat to the face, named Lucille with barbed wire from the fucking Walking Dead. there's still a feeling of fulfillment because you're following your heart and doing what you really truly do, truly want to do, and you know you're doing what you were meant to do, what you were made to do, what you were put here to do. You're tapping into all your talents, right? All your loves, like a love of bodybuilding, love of nutrition, love of supplements, love of steroids, all that shit. You're tapping into that. You're able to use that to bring information out there where people will never forget you. Make money at the same time. Leave a legacy behind where that information that you're giving out is going to be passed down for how many generations? They may not remember who the fuck said it, but what you said is going to be passed down fucking from people to people. It happens now and I'm still alive. So I guess I'm just, right now, I'm not just grateful. Like, I'm giddy with the fact that I didn't have to compromise who I was to do it. Ever. I didn't have to second guess myself. I didn't have to conform with what people wanted me to do. I didn't have to conform with what society wants me to do. I didn't have to do any of that shit. I was able just to be Jerry Ward from the time I graduated high school. My plan was, I don't have a plan. I have an idea. My plan's day to day, and it's fucking worked for 43 years and got me here. So I'm like, fuck, this is just interesting shit. So, I mean, that's all I got tonight. I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's been a while since I just shared some shit with you guys. And it's not about getting people to get shredded or get huge or fucking run faster or jump higher or fucking have better eyebrows or whatever the case may be. And, yeah, we'll talk about my eyebrow another time, about the scar that's in there, and people fucking think that I shaved it. If you can see the actual scar, it goes straight up through it and comes all the way down there to my eye. See it? So, anyways, that's what happens if you have ADD. You get off on other shit. So, thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys had a great week. Today is Friday night. Oh, it's Saturday morning, so the first week of June is gone, and I'm just pumped. I'm just pumped for tomorrow morning to wake up and see what orders came in, to see what my clients are saying. I'm just fucking pumped, and I don't think I could ask for any more than that. BicepsTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BicepsTraining.com is a blog. It's a thank you for listening, Bicep. Me venting to you guys this time, and we're out.